नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग। आपको स्क्रीन दिख रहा है मेरा? ओके।
यस सर।
ओके, थैंक यू। हम लोग चर्चा कर रहे थे कि प्रथम आर्य सत्य के या चार आर्य सत्यों की साधना कैसे की जा सकती है। तो कल उसके बारे में कुछ डिस्कशन भी हुआ शाम को रिगार्डिंग माय सजेशन, which in fact is not my suggestion but the suggestion given by our teachers in conversation. So by we can work on our strong impressions by bringing them to the memory. कल उस पे फिर जब चर्चा हुई तो वी ट्राई टू सी कि क्या उस पे एक ऑब्जेक्शन तो ये था कि भाई हम शांत बैठे हैं तो क्यों अपने आप को परेशान करें, विच इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल. Why should we remember past things and trouble? Especially when I look at it from the point of view of teachings, we are often recommended कि हमको भूतकाल में नहीं जाना चाहिए, भविष्य में नहीं जाना चाहिए, प्रेजेंट में रहना चाहिए. It seems contradictory to that, isn't it? So it's not really contradictory, though it's an exception to that certainly. ऐसा नहीं है कि भगवान बुद्ध की शिक्षा में कहीं पे डायरेक्टली ऐसा रिकमेंड किया गया हो कि आप पास्ट को प्रेजेंट में लाके then you reflect on it in that manner. But when Buddha is saying idam dukkham tu yatha bhutang pajanati, it means as it is happening. When a memory comes to the surface naturally, for example हम ध्यान कर रहे हैं और पुरानी बात को याद आ जाती है naturally, so then it is a matter of present. It is like occurring in the present again. The memory is no longer something which is your randomly remembering without and getting overwhelmed by it. You are consciously bringing to it. So normally what happens when you are sitting, talking or doing something and a past thought comes, we get lost in it. That is what is not being recommended. Or we start planning about future, which is totally beyond our comprehension, which is just assumptions. Past is an event which has happened in the past and we are getting carried away by it. But when we consciously bring it to the memory or bring that sankhara to the memory by remembering the object, then that event is happening in the present moment. That experience of fear or experience of anger or experience of jealousy is happening in the present moment. I'm experiencing it. Then I'm handling it in that sense. But of course, this is, as I said yesterday also, this is most like a kushal upaya, which is recommended and it is certainly recommended by many Western teachers. Last night I tried to figure out, we could get quotations from some of our Thai forest tradition teachers. So there were some things, but Chat GPT is not a very reliable means of getting information of that kind. So I didn't get some quotations, but I would prefer to verify them first because it is, especially in terms of giving, वो जो references देता वो कई बार काफ़ी बार गलत होते हैं. वो पैराफ्रेज कर देता है चीज़ों को and then he puts them it somewhere. But one thing is clear that many teachers like Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, Jack Cornfield, Tara Brach, they actually recommend actively bringing the memories to the past and handling them, which is a part of modern psychology also. There were some quotations from Lumpur, Sumedho, Ajahn Jaisaro, Ajahn Brahm, which gives that certain feelings. And I remember to have personally interacted with Lumpur especially. So here, for example, it says, if you feel resentment towards somebody, bring that person to memory as vividly as you can. Then deliberately send them kindness. It's a gentle recall. So that, and of course, this can be done only, that's why I was insisting yesterday. This can be, this Ajahn Jasur says, when the heart is calm, memories can also be brought to mind for contemplation, without indulgence, without condemnation, and understand the causes and conditions that give rise to them. Then Jan Brahm also brings something similar to that. So as I have written here, it is not, such a recommendation is not found in suttas. It is treated as a kushalubhaya, and I personally have benefited from it, done it a few times when some things were sticking for very long years, decades. Some things were sticking. Not that they were constantly bothering me, but they would pop up again and again and again at intervals whenever there was a trigger, and it will create a lot of unpleasantness in the mind. So then I looked at them consciously, sat with them for a few hours, probably, I don't remember exactly. Looked at them, how do I really handle it? And because I'm experiencing it now. And using the Four Noble Truths paradigm, figured out what was the real tanha behind it. Apparently, the reason was something else. In the depth, the reason was something else. And the moment I figured it out, it just collapsed, finished, never to arise again. So that's why I very confidently recommend this practice. And I recommend it to some friends also who have been. Some of them have reported complete cessation of the past sankhara. Some have reported attenuation, substantial reduction in that sankhara. So that's a experience based, and most of the things which I mention are either directly from suttas, the way I understand, and most of them as practiced. So the recommendation is that this is a recommendation not found in the sutta, should be treated as a kushalupaya. And if somebody feels it's not worth doing, surely it's not worth doing. There's no reason for me to insist that this should be done. I don't do it. But because it has benefited me quite a lot, imagine a sankhara which is holding on for 30 years, getting just in a few hours of sitting with it, finished, not arising again. It's a very big relief. So that's why I do recommend it. I will try to get these quotations and verify them because the AI tools sometimes create, uh, paraphrase these various statements and put them together. But they go through hundreds of references within a few seconds and then put them together. So we like to verify them, and then because verification is difficult, because if you know the reference and find quotation is one thing. You know quotation and find a reference is quite a challenge. But we'll try to see. And about them, there's no doubt about Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, Jack Cornfield, and all their books are written by them on that kind. The Ajahn Chah and Luang Por Sumedho do recommend that if memories come up, don't push them aside. Look at them and handle them as they're happening in the present moment. So what is being said is actually an extension of that. Yes, Professor Prashad, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
I just wanted to corroborate what you have said. I have also tried it a number of times. So I can't say that all those sankharas are completely gone, but they are considerably attenuated. Considerably. I've been trying it for long, actually, now. So it's a usual method for me to counter, to look at these events which keep occurring now and then.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what I suggest is that, considering the power of the method, there are two things. One is actively bringing it to the memory, other is passively. It comes, arises, memories arise, and then we handle them. Rather than pushing them aside, we handle them in that manner. So whichever way appeals to people, you can practice it out. But certainly the practice of Four Noble Truths is certainly a very powerful practice. The difficulty is that when the suffering is actually happening in the real time, it becomes quite a challenge to be able to see it at that moment. A few times I tried, a little bit of success, but then immediately after the event, I sat with it and dealt it very strongly. This is very often done, when the event is happening, at that moment you're not exactly able to handle it in the way you would have liked. But when you're free from that event, then you sit with that, because it especially is a fresh memory, then that will stir you up very heavily. Oh, I should, this was said, I should have said that, I shouldn't have said it. This person said, why should he said it? Then slowly, and you're sitting with it the way about which especially Lumpur Sumedho recommends, that you sit under the suffering and then you experience it and see the impact of it on your body and mind, and gradually it soothes out, eases out, and then you really get to know, because apparent causes for suffering may be something else. Deeper level, the causes may be something else, and that discovery is a very profound relief, because then you can see the working of the mind at a very deep level. So the basic teaching, which I had mentioned in past, idam dukkham arya satchin parineyanti. It should be comprehensively known. Of course, Buddhas are talking us yatha bhutang payanati, as it happens at that moment. Now, whether it is happening exactly in the real time or after few minutes or after a few days, it's a matter of perception, really. So when the suffering is happening, the Lord is saying it should be fully known. And idam dukkha samudayo arya satching pahatabbanti. It should be dropped. पाहन मतलब प्रहान कर देना चाहिए. तो जो दुख का कारण आपको मालूम पड़ा, जो भगवान की शिक्षा के आधार पे और डायरेक्ट ऑब्जर्वेशन ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंस, जो अनुभव हो रहा है दुख का, उसके अनुभव पे, उसके थोड़ा थोड़ा शांत होने पे जो सतह मालूम पड़ता है, फिर उस तृष्णा का प्रहान किया जाए. और कैसे किया जाए वो कई बार संभव होता है, कई बार उसके तृष्णा के प्रति अटैचमेंट बहुत स्ट्रांग है, आसक्ति बहुत स्ट्रांग है, उसको ड्रॉप करने में बड़ा कष्ट होता है. लगता है कि ऐसा कर दिया तो जीवन ही बदल जाएगा, मुझे अगर अपने बच्चे की आसक्ति छोड़ दी तो क्या होगा, मैं तो what will I have, nothing to support, and so many kind of our inner fears, and those they start coming up. So that's a very challenging thing, certainly. But the reflections which are given are again Aswadan, Adinava, Nissaran. There's a standard reflection spread throughout the teachings of the Buddha, that whenever there is a gratification of some kind, then we should see the danger in that. I had yesterday also read out a quotation from a sutta, that human beings are caught like a dog is wound, tied to a leash, and he keeps on going round and round. Similarly, human beings are caught by the leash of ignorance, and they keep on going round and round, cycles of birth and death, because they're not able to see the ignorance which is giving rise to the craving. So that is a very powerful thing. And if you can locate it, and even just seeing it will reduce its strength to some extent. And if you can persist with it, it does fall down. And then the experience of a momentary or a temporary experience of release of suffering is experienced, which is pointed out by many teachers. And then when you retrospectively reflect, हुआ कैसे, सती संपजन्य से हुआ, शील पुष्ट से उसके कारण हो पाया, इस समय मैंने प्रतिक्रिया नहीं की तो सती पुष्ट रही, प्रज्ञा काम की, अनित्य बोध काम किया कि हाँ ये अनित्य है, मैं उससे घबराता नहीं, इस संस्कार के प्रति स्ट्रॉन्ग क्रेविंग या स्ट्रॉन्ग अवर्शन नहीं है, and then it passes off, at least temporarily, maybe rise again. And sometimes when you do it again and again, passes off, never to rise again. So that kind of a experience exists. And so the power of Four Noble Truths is definitely very strong. It has been, this is what is recommended by the Buddha. Of course, for him, with this amount of awareness and sati and sampajanya, it would be possible. For us, it may not be possible in real time, but at the earliest possible, if we do so, we find that substantial relief is possible. And when there is no clarity about this, suffering is really overwhelming and you're not really able to figure out कि इस कारण से है कि इस कारण से है कि इस कारण से है, then the best thing is to sit with it and allow that experience to soak into the body and mind. And the observation of the body, because that experience is strong, craving or aversion, it affects the body very strongly. And then that effect is actually an imprint of the mental phenomena. So as you observe that effect, and observing the body is comparatively easier, then slowly and slowly the impermanence of that effect begins to manifest. And since that effect is tied to the mental state, as that affects veins in the body, it affects veins correspondingly in the mind. So that's how the whole process operates. So we can try it out and see. We have the two possibilities. We sit and meditate in the standard manner, that whatever is the present moment experience, ये हम उसको चार आर्य सत्यों के परिप्रेक्ष्य में देख सकते हैं. प्रेजेंट मोमेंट पे मन शांत है, अच्छा लग रहा है, बट वो शांत मन भी दुख है. दिक्कत ये है कि हम उसको उस सेंस में देखते नहीं. उस शांत मन के प्रति जो सजग, जो मेरी आसक्ति है कि ये बना रहे, क्यों मैं इसको डिस्टर्ब करूं, ये भी एक दुख ही है, उसके प्रति आसक्ति है. तो भगवान बुद्ध ने स्पेसिफिकली समझाया है that good meditators should look at pleasant feelings as painful. So when we say कि अच्छा महसूस हो रहा है तो क्यों मैं उसको परेशान कर रहा हूँ अपने आप को, it is actually an indication of attachment to that pleasant experience, not recognizing its impermanence, not recognizing its viparinama dhamma, not recognizing that it is sankhara dukkha. You remember I had mentioned it. Dukkha, the first noble truth itself, there are three kinds of dukkha. One is which is a pleasant experience. Other is विपरिणाम दुखता. सुख दुख तो कहता तो सबको स्पष्ट ही है. विपरिणाम दुखता है सुख की क्षण भंगुरता. सुखद वेदना हो रही है क्योंकि साधना करते आ रहे हैं, 6-7 हफ्ते हो रहे हैं, अच्छा है, मन शांत है, तो ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. एंड देन वी बिगिन टू चेरिश इट. उसमें आस्वादन आता है, मजा ले रहे हैं, और भूल जाते हैं कि वो बदल जाएगा, और वो फिर दुख में कन्वर्ट हो ही जाएगा. बेसिक टीचिंग है, सब ही में पिए ही मना पे ही नाना भाव बिना भाव. बदलेगा ही, अनुभव बदलेगा ही. जो मेरे प्रिय है उनसे सेपरेशन होगा ही, वेदर इट इज पीपल और सिचुएशन और वेदर इट इज एक्सपीरियंसेस, दे विल आल्सो गेट सेपरेटेड. और फिर जब हम इसकी ओर नहीं देखते तो दुख संखार दुखता की ओर देखना तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. बिकॉज हम ये सब भूल गए कि ये सब जो हो रहा है वो कुछ परिस्थितियों के कारण हो रहा है, कुछ कंडीशनिंग के कारण हो रहा है, और वो कंडीशनिंग बदल जाएंगी भाई. उन कंडीशंस को मेंटेन करते रखना कितना भारी बोझ है, कितना भारी डर है कि ये बदल ना जाए, कहीं कहीं मैं उसमें कुछ ऐसा ना कर दूं कि ये बदल जाए. इट्स ए डीप इनर रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ अवर डीप craving for that experience, sticking on to that experience. And प्रकृति का नेचर है कि from order it will try to go to disorder unless you have transcended that law by entering into the stream of liberation. तो जब तक मुक्ति के स्रोत में न पड़ जाए, तब तक we should be extremely cautious and not getting trapped in pleasant experiences. हमको जो भगवान दुख से दूसरे हारे सत्य की डेफिनेशन जो देते हैं, आपको याद होगी, यायम तन्हा पौनुभविका नंदी राग सत्र सहगता तत्र तत्राभिनंदनी। उसमें अवर्शन की बात नहीं कर रहे एक्चुअली, दो इट इज इम्प्लिसिट दैट वी हैव टू इम्प्लाई नंदी राग सहगता, जो आनंद और आस्वादन के साथ चलती है, प्रसन्नता के साथ चलती रहती है, वो तृष्णा है। कभी यहाँ कभी वहाँ, तत्र तत्राभिनंदनी, कभी यहाँ कभी वहाँ, वो प्रसन्नता ढूंढती रहती है। दैट इज द तन्हा, एंड we have to be very, very careful about that, not getting trapped in that pleasant experience, because that is the real trap. असल में जो दुख का, जब कहा जाता है दुख बोध का एक्चुअली तात्पर्य ये है कि हम इन दो दुखों को देख पाए। ये तो ऑब्वियस है, इसको देखने की जरूरत नहीं है, समझने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। जब हम प्लेजेंट फीलिंग को पेनफुल की तरह समझते हैं, जानते हैं, तब दुख बोध जागता है। अदरवाइज तो कहने की बात है, सब भी संखारा दुखा थी, चैंट कर रहे हैं, बट वी आर नॉट टेकिंग इट सीरियसली। सब्बे संखारा दुखा थी, व्हाट डज इट मीन? Means that whatever has arisen, the pleasant experience which has arisen will change, and it is by its very definition, you are forced to keep and put in so much effort to maintain that. Our body itself is bound to disintegrate. We're forced to keep effort to put it together. So we chant, हमारे chanting book में भी आता है, भार सुत्त भार हवे पंचखंदा भारहारो च पुंगलो भारादानं दुखम लोके भार निखे परम सुखम. It's a, the sankharas are like a burden, because you have to keep this body and mind together. Constantly it needs attention. कभी भोजन चाहिए, कभी एक्सक्रीशन की आवश्यकता है, कभी पानी पीने की आवश्यकता है, कभी घर ठंड लग रही है तो प्रोटेक्ट करने की आवश्यकता है, गर्मी लग रही है तो प्रोटेक्ट करने की. बॉडी इज सो फ्रेजिल इन दैट सेंस. Constantly we are supposed to. So that is the sankhara dukkha, the most subtle one and the most pervading one, sankhara dukkha. So we have to recognize this dukkha satcha. More we recognize it, lesser will be our craving for pleasant feelings. And then we will not be afraid of trying to work with the unpleasant feelings. So let us practice keeping the, हमारा जो स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल है उसी को मद्देनजर रखते हुए we can practice in the normal way, observing whatever is happening and analyzing it according to the paradigm of Four Noble Truths. If it is pleasant experience, then also we can analyze, and if it is an unpleasant experience, then of course we'll be obviously analyzing it as a suffering. But when there is a pleasant experience also, then also we can analyze it as a suffering in disguise, छुपा हुआ, in that sense. So then our practice, I think, will become stronger. Yes, Sonal, you want to say something?
जी sir. In this context, I wanted to share my experience, if I may now. Or
Please go ahead.
जी, अर्लियर जैसे आपने बताया था दुख को समझना, तो ये मैंने पहले भी प्रैक्टिस किया, और अभी रिसेंट में भी व्हेन सम इंस्टेंस हैपेंस एट दैट टाइम हम कोशिश करते हैं कि संवेदना देखें और रूट कॉज क्या है उस पर काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं, बट देन संखारा ड्रिवन वो हावी हो जाता है, उस टाइम पे नहीं हो पाता. देन उसके बाद में फिर उसका रूट कॉज क्या है, ओके दिस इज माय अटैचमेंट टू माय परसेप्शन, और मैं भी मैं इस तरह चाह रही थी, तो वो जो डिग डाउन वो बहुत हेल्प होके फिर उसको नेक्स्ट हाउ डू आई एग्जीक्यूट. तो आई रीच्ड आउट टू द पर्सन जिससे भी जो हुआ होगा, एंड देन आई रीच्ड आउट फॉर सीकिंग forgiveness only. This is my maybe my understanding is wrong, and that's why this all has happened, so I seek forgiveness for my ignorance. So this also has helped. I mean, just not identifying the cause, and also uh, approaching upfront for forgiveness, to forgive the other person and also myself. So ये this has helped to reach to a extent that कोई हुआ ही नहीं, जैसे dropping out totally the negativity or whatever it is. So this also kind
Thank
of
you.
helped.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So we can sit with it and spend some time today also on understanding the great value of practice of Four Noble Truths. If there's any other comment or question, we can take it up. Okay, thank you. My screen is still. Yeah. Yes, please. पाटिल साहब बताइए, please.
Sir,
Share your.
you've given us a very good point, because in childhood, one of my elder cousin created some wrong sankharas, practiced something wrongly. In fact, that is affected me throughout my life. Still now I am having a control over that, but still that reminds me sometimes. I'm not able to remove it totally. But since I'm not able to experience the whole thing as it is now, so I cannot remove it. How to do that?
Well, we have to. It's not the whatever remaining impact is there that can be handled, in the same manner. It's not necessary to kind of dig and do some past regression or something. Whatever naturally, it is a gentle process. It has to be a very gentle process. So whatever emerges at the first instance, handle that in the light of Buddha's teachings. Because whatever emerges is a present experience. So whatever is that present experience, handle it in the same manner.
Now I try to do it, but it is still sometimes it comes to my mind again and again.
Yeah, so whenever in your practice it passively comes to mind, then put at it. If it is not, obviously it has faded to some extent, the way I understand. So whatever is the remaining impression, that can be sorted out by when you're meditating and you say it comes to mind again and again, then look at it and see what kind of sankhara is it. Is it of aversion? Is it of craving? Is it of whatever else possibility? And then, just as we discussed in the Nivaran Pabbam, you can handle them according to the instructions given by the Buddha.
That person, my elder cousin who created me the wrong thing, he is no more. I can only say metta to him and then just
Yeah, of course. If you have resentment against him, then certainly you should practice
yeah,
that way.
that resentment is still there in my life.
Yeah, then we should practice forgiveness towards him, towards yourself, and metta should be practiced. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And one more point. When I was a child in a school, somebody hit me very badly. And then I complained to my mother. And then she again fired him, and then things were all right. Everything was future, there was no much recurrence. Then at that point, is it a good sankhar? I still it comes to my mind when sometimes, but that is I cannot forget it, because is it a bad sankhar or wrong, good sankhar?
You see, we should Look, sankhara means when you have intentional action is done to hurt somebody or harm somebody. For a child to inform his mother is a common thing. So that should not be seen so in a very strong manner. The issue is that if that memory comes to you, if it passive, if you're sitting and meditating and that comes to your mind, then practice metta towards yourself. As a child, you couldn't have done anything else. See, practicing metta towards ourselves for the emotions which arise, which are past memories and trying to sort of hurt us because of oversensitivity and lack of wisdom, then we try to practice it accordingly. First is reflecting on wisely that after all, as a child, what else can a child do? Now that is for the mother to see how she handles it. Now you, as a child, we must have done so many things which may not be now in our present mode of understanding correct. This is true throughout our life, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
At any stage in our life, we have certain amount of wisdom. And we act according to that. At the best we can do is to act according to that. We may not have even acted according to that. The best we can do is to act according to the wisdom. And even at this moment, when I do or say something, I do whatever is the wisdom I have. If I am mindful, I can recall it and do a good job to that extent. But it's not necessary that my wisdom has reached maturity and I cannot learn more and about myself, learn more about the world, learn more about Buddha's teachings, and then practice better. So it's always possible. So till such time as we are fully liberated, we are sekhas. We are not even sekhas actually, technically. We're
Yes.
learning. So as we keep on learning, our responses become wiser. So there's nothing. I mean, feeling that I should have been better in the past is a typically wrong thinking, isn't it? Whatever I was in the past has happened. The issue is the past impression, does it continue to haunt me? If it continues to haunt me, then look at it in the manner it has been suggested. In the Four Noble Truths paradigm, look at it in that manner and it will be substantially softened.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. One more point, sir. Last point. Uh, in fact, my father had some stammering effect. In early age, I just noticed and I learned something, the stammering. That continued in my school days also. But whenever I want to speak or discuss, that again it used to block me while I'm speaking. So I got afraid, and that still remained. But later stage it is reduced. But whenever now in audience, if I want to speak, again that problem comes, and I emotionally I just gets withdrawn. I mean, withdrawing habit comes. So still I'm not able to come out of that sometimes.
Mm.
Yeah, that
So
is also one. Yeah.
we can look at it. There is a physical aspect of it, then there is a mental aspect of it. There's a physical aspect of it which can be handled by a speech therapist and all that, whatever the modern methods of handling it are there. Other is the suffering we create out of it because of sense of self. I'm not able to talk as fluently as somebody else is talking. Now that is a comparison and that creates a sense of suffering in this. So
In fact, it is not.
that is the second arrow which Buddha talks of. One
Yes.
is the actual experience of difficulty of speaking. Other is the inflicted suffering by me by thinking I should speak better than him. It's not even stammering. It could be even the use of language. Some people are very good at oratory skills. Oh, I may wonder I don't have that skill. Well, that is a futile comparison. That's
Uh,
the source of suffering because we are considering ourselves as a person who has to have a particular skill. If it is crucial, I can practice and try and gain it. But if it is not, there's no reason to compare. Buddha actually mentions that anybody who thinks I am superior to somebody or inferior to somebody or equal to somebody is still caught in the self view. there is the perception I am somebody and who should be somebody. So from the point of view of the Buddha's teachings, we have to look at it in that manner, so that the second arrow does not come. As far as the first arrow is concerned, we can do whatever is needed from the medical perspective if it is necessary. But the way you are speaking, I don't see any such.
No, it is
res-
actually, it is not a physical one, sir. It is only a mental.
Yeah, then
that-
we should handle it in that manner. We should let go of the self-image which wants that I should speak as fluently as others, and see it in that manner. And slowly it will change. I know of people who have overcome this.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, Sunil ji.
या गुड मॉर्निंग सर. सर इसमें जो फोर्थ स्टेप है भावित करना चाहिए, सो एक बारी हमने संपूर्णता से दुख को जान लिया, फिर प्रहान कर दिया, साक्षात्कार भी कर लिया. व्हेन वी से भावित करना चाहिए, इट मींस कि जो हमने निरोध किया है वो दोबारा जो है अराइज ना करे.
Yeah, you can say. Firstly, जो निरोध हुआ है, okay,
हाँ.
we should use the language carefully. जो निरोध हुआ है,
हाँ.
किन कारणों से हुआ,
हम्म.
और उन कारणों को समझ के उनको और डेवलप किया जाए ताकि ये कंप्लीट सेसेशन हो जाए. ये तो भी टेम्परेरी हुआ ना, फिर अराइज हो जाएगा.
राइट.
So we work on it, develop the eightfold fast further. जो हुआ है वो भी इसी कारण से हुआ कि कुछ हद तक हम उसको फॉलो कर पा रहे हैं.
राइट.
सती संपजन्य के कारण हुआ, which is the summary of some of the important factors. उसका ये बेसिक हमारे शील पुष्ट हैं तभी हो पाएगा, नहीं तो नहीं हो पाएगा. So we can see that, yeah, these factors are already operating to some extent, but if I can develop them further and strengthen them, I can expect that in futures, with my more and more practice, the cessations will be faster, quicker, and deeper till complete cessation takes place. And and that particular sankhara does not arise. And eventually no sankhara arises. That is the path, isn't it?
Right. Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay.